Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Landon, and I'll be hosting the webinar today on the Best of the West Media Awards, which, as it says there, is honoring service to the industry and the community. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will get to it at the end. I will probably not notice it while we're going through here, but hopefully I'll answer your questions throughout the whole time. And so here we go. So first of all, what aren't the Best of Media Awards? They're not like the American Advertising Awards, and they're not like the other press awards that you might be familiar with from other press clubs and things like that. They're a way to honor both companies and individuals for good works of community service that you do in your community. And that's pretty much what we're looking at mostly, is the good work. The area of the Best of the West Media Awards are here, the Western United States, as we consider it. Let me go back there. Sorry, I get that. I didn't mean to do that. Oops, need to go backwards. There you go. Here it is. Here's the Western States. That kind of matches the American Advertising Federation Western region. So that's what we're looking at, and these are the areas that that we cover. Moving on, a media outlet. The term media outlet in this competition includes radio stations, either online or broadcast, TV stations, including online cable or broadcast, newspapers, outdoor companies, magazines, websites, blogs, podcasts. For reference, websites for radio stations and television stations and newspapers and magazines should be entered as a website, and they're considered separate from the media outlet itself. So if you're a newspaper that has both a newspaper and a website for the newspaper, you'll enter the newspaper in the newspaper and the website for the newspaper in the website category. Nominations may be made by anyone via the AAF Western Region website, and we'll show you where to go for that in a little bit. Self-nominations are also encouraged. Nominations will include 3 to 5 questions about the nominee and how they benefit the local community. And categories will allow nominees to upload examples of award worthiness. So hopefully you'll be able to see all that. What awards will be presented? Both company individual awards. First, the company awards. Eligibility for company awards, they will be given to companies that are based within the Western region, as we showed you in a moment ago. Companies located outside the boundaries are eligible only if they have a media outlet that focuses on an area within the boundaries, such as a local newspaper, local radio stations, or website devoted to an area within the Western region, or if they have a local bureau, in the case of radio or television, that exclusively covers an area within the boundaries. Here are the categories, the company award categories. Radio Broadcaster of the Year, there are 3 of those that will be presented in large market, mid-sized market, and small market. And the reason we broke them up is that the stations that are in the larger markets will have different budgets, generally speaking, and different capabilities than those in the smaller markets. And so we don't want to take a smaller market station and have them compete against a larger market station. We just didn't feel it was fair. So we're breaking it up so you'll be competing against those in similar sized markets to what you have. Western Region Television Broadcaster of the Year, same. We've broken it down into 3 market sizes. Newspaper of the Year, in this case, we've broken it down by circulation as opposed to market size, because a lot of times large markets might have smaller newspapers that cover just a small section of the larger market. For example, you might be in the Los Angeles market, but just cover Hollywood, and Hollywood has a much smaller population than the overall city of Los Angeles. So we broke that down by circulation, again, to be more fair, so you're competing against similar sized publications. Outdoor Company of the Year, broken down by market again. Magazine of the Year, these are not broken down by market size. We may do that in the future, but this year, Western Region Magazine of the Year, will be giving away one of those. Website of the Year, similar to that. Blog or Podcast of the Year. And Western Region Advertising Agency of the Year. And we've broken these down into billing sizes. So again, you'll be competing against other agencies that are of similar size to what you are. Western Region Media Agency of the Year. Similarly, we've broken it down by billing. Western Region Governmental Media Outlet of the Year. 2 awards will be presented, one in print and one in radio, TV, or internet. We know there's a lot of governments out there that have their own websites, newsletters, newspapers, magazines, for cities or for certain types of other kind of governmental agencies, such as electric companies or water companies or things like that. Western Region Locally Produced Radio or TV Show of the Year. So this will be a locally produced show specifically to our market size. Western Region Public Service Campaign or Event of the Year. So this will be something you specifically did within your market as a public service campaign or a public service event. Best coverage of a local news story of the year. And this could be anything from something that's governmental, something like a tragedy that may have happened, fires, something that happened within the government, anything that's of a local nature, the best coverage of the local news story of the year. And then we have some individual awards. And eligibility for the individual awards, they'll be given to individuals who serve within the area within the Western region, regardless of where they're based, as long as that area is their primary responsibility and the distribution occurs within the Western region. So for example, say that you're based in Atlanta, but you specifically cover work that happens in San Francisco or Seattle or things like that, and that's your primary area that you cover, and you're not covering national, you're just covering the Western region or a portion of the Western region, but you just happen to be based outside of the Western region, you still qualify, if that makes sense to you. So it has to do with, the area that you cover as opposed to where it is that you're specifically sitting. The individual awards, including Western Region Media Professional of the Year. These are folks who work in the media who are not writers, reporters, on-air talent, photographers. There are people such as who work in sales, administration, promotions, editors, management. So in the words of the language, you're not the talent, but you're more of on the professional side, as opposed to the Media Talent of the Year. And those are for people who are specifically the writers, reporters, on-air talent, and photographers. Western Region Agency Professional of the Year. This is someone who works for an agency. The Young Achiever Award, those who are 32 years old or younger are eligible for this award. And then we have some student awards. Now, the student awards are for those outlets or students that cover either their school or a broader area within the competition boundaries. Again, that's the Western United States. Those outlets, such as school papers, radio stations, television stations, other than broadcast stations, internet sites, and blogs, do not necessarily have to be sanctioned or approved by the school. The student awards are intended for those who attend a college or university within the boundaries, and the media outlet does not have paid employees other than those who sell advertising. And while advisors may be involved, the majority of the day-to-day editorial decisions must be made by students and not advisors. So there's a couple of things here that I'd like to point out. First off, there's a lot of PBS stations, NPR stations, that type of things that are based on college campuses, but they're completely professionally run. So those would not necessarily be eligible for student awards because they're run by professionals and not by students. That being said, a student radio station or student newspaper that is run by students and who make the decisions, those would qualify. Additionally, sometimes in some campuses, there are students who run a publication or a website that's not affiliated with the school, but they may cover the school or they may cover an area around the school or whatever, or their students, those qualify. So the student awards don't necessarily have to cover the school. And they don't necessarily have to be associated with the school, but they have to be run by students. And that's pretty much the key to the eligibility there, is that everything is run by students. And the student awards are Best College Media Outlet of the Year, and that would be radio, TV, or newspaper. And once again, this could be affiliated with the school or not affiliated with the school, as long as it's run by students. Western Region Best College Website and Blog of the Year, or Blog of the Year. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be affiliated with the school. Western Region Best Student Media Representative of the Year. This might be a salesperson, might be an editor, might be some other person who works on the media outlet. For to make nominations, you want to go to aafwesternregion.org, and here's a screenshot of how this looks currently. You'll notice there's two options here. One is for the Best of the West Media Awards, which is what we're talking about today. And the other is for the AAF Western Region Leadership Conference, which, by the way, you're more than welcome to attend. If you're interested in that, press that link. But if not, go ahead and press the link that says Best of the West Media Awards. And there you'll move on to here, and you'll be able to download the entry information packet, which will have all of the rules, and we'll discuss a lot of things that we're talking about here and get into more specifics as well. So we encourage you to download the entry information. Here is the schedule. Early nomination deadline is through October 15th, 2022. Late nominations are accepted through October 31st. And our judging period will be November 4th through the 14th. And we don't have quite a date set for the announcement of winners, but we anticipate being that sometime in November. We'll make sure that everybody is notified when and how we're going to announce the winners. All dates are, of course, subject to change, but our plan is to stick with those dates. I know last year we extended out the late deadline quite a bit. It is not our plan to do that this year. Our plan is to stick with these dates. So be sure and enter by the 15th if you can, if not by the 31st. And here's the cost. This is why you want to get it in by the 15th, is that there is a discount if you enter a little early. Professional nominations are $45. Student nominations are $35 each if you're done by October 15th. After October 15th, the nominations go up $10 each. Professional nominations are now $55. Student nominations are $45. And once again, we encourage you to nominate yourself, others you work with, people at another company. If you're just interested third party, you like someone who's working over at some other place, feel free to nominate. And how you nominate, you'll see all the different sections in there, and you'll press the button that says enter now, and you'll enter the category. Unfortunately, the one thing we can't do, if you want to enter in multiple categories, either for yourself or for other folks, they all have to be done separately. Unfortunately, we don't have the technology right now to add them all together, so you have to do them one by one. And pretty much you just go in there and you fill out the form, and you put in the nominee's company and the company address and the nominee email, the nominee phone number, market size, that type of stuff. Then you'll see information we could fill in a kind of long form, how the outlet has engaged in its local audience to have a positive impact on the community. And you'll see several different things that you could answer that will change by whichever category you're suggesting. And then again, you'll have the chance to upload files that will justify whatever it is you're looking for. It's not required that you upload files, but you may upload files if you think it will help. And we do encourage you to upload files, excuse me, because it will help the judges in the judging process to determine what scores to be given. So judges will be all U.S. media professionals from outside the Western region. So there'll be no one from Los Angeles or San Francisco or Seattle or Colorado Springs or Tucson or any place else. They'll all be people outside the Western region who will be judging. And we'll include those who work in TV, radio, print, internet, and outdoor. So they will be media professionals judging media. We're not necessarily saying there'll be TV people judging TV entries, but we're having people who work in the media judge them. And as brief as that is everything I have to present. We kind of went through there quickly, but if you want more details, you can, of course, go on the website, download all the information, and it'll be there for you, and you can get more details there. I'm not seeing any questions right now. I'll vamp for a moment or two, see if there is a question that anyone has. But as I'm not seeing it, I will say thank you very much. We hope to see you enter, and hope to see you soon.